Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. We are super excited to be talking about the Gran Fondo. It is less than 2 weeks away. The KeyBank Gran Fondo happening Saturday, June 21. And I'm so excited to be talking to the event director, John Conklin. And we have a special guest who's joining us too, Nicole Ver Kuilen. We'll get to her in just a second. But for people who have maybe never heard of a Gran Fondo, what, John, is a Gran Fondo?
A Gran Fondo is literally Italian for big ride. And that's exactly what it is here. We have this giant road cycling event that happens every June, and it has routes for all riders. It starts in downtown Grand Rapids. It goes to the lakeshore and back, and then shorter distances, getting closer to the city. Has a huge after party, just a huge community event, but it also is a really great fundraising event for you guys, Mary Free Bed.
Awesome. And so we have a special guest that we're going to talk about today. So John, who is our special guest joining on the live stream, and why did we bring her in?
I am so thrilled to have Nicole with us to be our ride ambassador this year. We have had celebrity riders in the past and, really cool, individuals coming in who are really big into cycling. But I don't think we really had anybody that really has spoken to the mission as well. So having Nicole just checks every box. She's familiar with you guys, tremendous athlete, tremendous advocate. And I think that it's exactly what this event needs to really help us raise funds for the great work you guys are doing here.
And that's awesome. Nicole is not also just going to help us raise fund and share her story. She's actually going to participate in the ride as well too. Right, Nicole?
Yes, absolutely. The 40 miler. I'm excited for it.
Excellent. So for people who might not have ever heard your story, can you just walk us through a little bit about, because your journey with disability started when you were young, and then you have this really inspiring way that you've turned what happened to you into being able to help people around the nation. So just kind of walk us through the beginning of your story.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. And John, just so honored to be part of the ride, the Gran Fondo this year. Thank you guys for having me. So excited to be the ride ambassador. My story really starts back when I was 10 years old. I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, bone cancer. And during that process, my family really had to make the tough decision to amputate my leg to save my life. And going through that process, as you can imagine, mentally, physically, it was extremely challenging. But what was even more challenging than, the surgical procedure itself, losing my leg, losing all my hair, going through cancer, was the fact that shortly after we realized that insurance would only cover just one prosthesis. And I was told that my prosthetic leg wasn't waterproof, wasn't allowed to get it wet, and it was also not meant for physical activity. And I was a highly active 10-year-old. I grew up both in Minnesota and Michigan. One of my favorite things in the summer in Michigan was to go up north to my grandpa's cabin and to swim in the water. So as you can imagine, having just one leg and being told I can't get it wet was extremely limiting. And so kind of went with that narrative for majority of my life. Ended up going to the University of Michigan for school. Go Blue for anyone out there.
Yeah.
And eventually graduated. And it was at that point in time I started to really question the system. I saw more people in the media who had access to running blades and the types of prostheses they needed to be active, and was just wondering, why couldn't I get access to that? And I was, 25 at the time. So this was, a decade plus after my amputation, still did not have access to what I needed to be physically active. And so at that time I decided to quit my job and do a 1,500-mile triathlon down the West Coast. We called it Forest Stump to raise awareness and to kind of bring some policy change to this area for people with disabilities and towards disability rights. And so that was back in 2017, and have been working on this issue ever since. And I think the thing for me that I realized during that time is I didn't really know many other people with disabilities growing up. But then I realized that there were so many other people just like myself that were falling through the cracks, and that the system was failing in many ways, and that we needed to change this from a policy perspective.
That is just so incredible. And to see things, so you had this film about you as well too, that kind of chronicled your 1,500-mile triathlon. So that's so cool. So we can share a link to that in the comments so people can go check that out. But, it was, you had to do this thing to draw attention, and now you are using your story to really make an impact. And so I think that's so great. And so there's other organizations that you have been a part of too. So what is So Everybody Can Move?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we started Forest Stump as a nonprofit back in 2017 after we did the 1,500-mile triathlon. My personal experience, I didn't have any policy background. I mean, I went to the University of Michigan for business and marketing and strategy, which actually serves itself really well in the advocacy and policy space. But after that, decided to do a fellowship in DC to learn what was being done on this issue, realized that there was nothing, being done on this, and started working with a number of different organizations within the orthotic and prosthetic landscape and community across the country. And over the past number of years now, we have founded what is called So Everybody Can Move. And so I'm the campaign director for So Everybody Can Move, which launched in 2022. And it's our state-based policy, healthcare and disability rights campaign to enact legislation to require insurance companies to cover prosthetic and orthotic care for physical activity. So we are now, not just raising awareness about it, we're actually making policy change to get people like the individuals you see on the screens here, everyone to be able to get access to what they need. And it's been remarkable, the amount of just bipartisan support, the amount of support from advocates all across the country, and really excited to share that there will be a bill coming to Michigan in 2025 as well.
That is exciting. And so, John, this is why we wanted to bring Nicole in, so we could share her story with people who are participating in this ride, who, they're able-bodied, they're riding cycles, they've been doing the 40 or 80 mile, but they might see a hand cycle that's at the race, or they might see someone with a prosthetic leg who's riding an able-bodied traditional bike. So it's just so great for Nicole to be able to share her story. And so this really fits in that, like, look at the impact that you can then have, and you can help make change. Right, John?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a great community ride, but at its core, Fondo is really about doing good in the community. And what better way to spotlight that than to have Nicole with us, being out there riding, being with us during the great after party, speaking with people, being at the Expo Packet Pickup the day prior, and just kind of getting those touch points and really putting a personal feel and face to what we're all trying to do here.
Yeah, that's so excellent. And so, Nicole, I mean, you've traveled the nation and doing all kinds of work, but why decide to come to Grand Rapids and participate in this event for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, number one, want to support Mary Free Bed. I mean, you guys have been incredible to me as well as an amputee receiving prosthetic care. I've worked with one of your amazing prosthetists, Dan Malik. Last year, I was able to come in and have 4 legs made in 3 days. I mean, kudos to Dan. I don't know how we did it, but we pumped him out. And, just being able to receive that care that I can't get because of insurance. And I'm excited to share that now in the state that I live in, Washington State, we have enacted this legislation for So Everybody Can Move. We've now got 12 states around the country that have enacted the legislation, and we're working towards getting 28 states to enact it by the Los Angeles 2028 Paralympics. Wow. But, I didn't have access to that, and Mary Free Bed just, came in to help support me and get access to great prosthetic care. And so I know Mary Free Bed does that times a million in all the different aspects of rehabilitation and healthcare. So excited to be the ride ambassador to help support the great work Mary Free Bed is doing. Again, raising awareness on the fact that Michigan is going to have a So Everybody Can Move bill, and hopefully, maybe we can be the 13th state or 14th state across the country. And then, of course, who doesn't love a Gran Fondo? I'm personally super excited to ride in it, and just want to give, huge kudos to John and the entire team for putting together what's going to be a stellar ride.
Yeah. So, John, as we getting ready to start wrapping up, how can people get involved? Because there's multiple ways. You don't just have to ride, correct?
Correct. You don't have to ride. You can fundraise as well and not ride. You can volunteer. Even just coming down to downtown Grand Rapids where we're holding it, you can come down and just cheer on the riders coming in and just kind of be part of it. You can do all of that, simply by going to KeyBankGranFondo.com. That's GRAN KeyBankGranFondo.com. From there, we've got a direct link to registration, more information about the event, great information about Nicole, volunteer opportunities, you name it. All of the details are up there, and you can very quickly then kind of figure out what makes sense for you.
Yeah. And so we'll have links in the comments. You can get to those as well too. And yeah, we've had some graphics on here too, so you can donate, you can ride, you can volunteer. So, and big thing too is volunteers. Like, how important are those, and how much are we searching for those in these last 2 weeks?
Volunteers are critical to events. You can plan all day long and do all the good things, but if nobody shows up to help support the participants, there's no event. So we definitely need volunteers everywhere, from the different rest stops that we have along the way, to handing out medals at the finish line, to helping in the party area. I mean, you name it. There's so many different spots. And again, going to KeyBankGranFondo.com, link for volunteers from there, and you can kind of see what those positions are, see what the different time periods are, and then from once your shift is over, come and enjoy the after party with us.
Yeah, after party is a lot of fun. I had a great time there as well last year. So awesome. Well, excellent. John and Nicole, thank you so much for joining us in this live stream. It was great hearing you, Nicole, start to share your story, and you're going to hear more of it if you come to the Gran Fondo to see her ride and pick up and for a meet and greet. So everybody, thank you so much for watching this live stream. Get links to where you can register, you can donate, and volunteer in the comments. We appreciate you all. Thank you for watching, and stay well.